Yo, welcome back. So it's currently Sunday, and tomorrow we have got the dreaded AM2S. So if you're an electrician watching this, which I hope you are, because I don't really put much other content out. So my current situation is I've done all my college stuff as such, so my level 3 and all that, done my portfolio, and then once you've done all that, you can now book your AM2S or AM2, depending which route you took. So I'm doing the AM2S. I've been and done the training day, so I was going to run you through a bit of tips on this. So the college put me through the training day, so they just give you a bit of tips and tricks, what you're going to need, what to expect, stuff like that. So I can show you guys a bit of that. I can't show you too much because obviously it's like, well, it's a test and no one really, once you're in there, it's like no really photos of it online and stuff like that. So yeah, that's that. But then today I was just going to show you I am bit boring, going to do a bit of revision as such, so read through the books, mainly the on-site guide I think, because obviously if I was trying to read this, I'll switch off or go to sleep because it's just too big. But yeah, I'll have a quick flick through Guidance Note 3, on-site guide, and show you guys some tips and tricks I thought are quite good for AM2. Right, I'll just add as well, so it's Sunday like I said, I've got AM2 tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday, so it's a 3-day course. However, if you finish a bit earlier and you feel confident 100% and you will finish within the time frame, then you can finish early as such. But yeah, regarding AM2, so I think the first day, the majority of the day is the build as such. So you get like, you're given a booth, you've got to do a build. You're given like a schedule of works as such, so what you need to do, how you need to wire it, what cables, what trunking, what stuff like that, what materials you've got to use, you've got to do it to that specification. So that's going to be interesting because I've never really done something to that degree as such, where it's got to be pristine. Obviously, we domestically, you're the one giving out the suggestions to the customer and they take your advice. So it's going to be different, but I'm sure I'll smash it. So, well, you can try your best. That's all you've got. First piece of paperwork I'll be looking at is the pre-assessment manual for AM2S. So this is supplied by Net. So they're like the company that make all the books and stuff like that. And I think are they the ones who sort out the AM2? Yeah, they sort out the AM2 and stuff. So straight in, introduction. So it's just saying about what to expect. So a lot of safe isolation. If I try and run through it all, I'll take a photo and I'll put a photo now up on the screen of the introduction, just because that's a brief overview of what to expect. But the main things I want to talk about is, so tools you're permitted to use. So you're allowed to take your own insulated side cutters, wire strippers, and a pair of pliers only. And then documentation. So all this here, obviously you have to have it to read, or say if you're on site, to recap some regs as such. However, when you're there, you're not allowed to take your own books, because my books are, Nick's, but I've sticked them up. So you can just quickly flick to that page. So say if I want to do a volt drop calculation, get this blue purple tab, flick it open, straight on the sizes of the cables, etc. So they're from Study Stickers, they're quite good. Not sponsored, I just saw them online, bought them, they're mint. So you haven't got to worry about taking your own books as such. Brushing up on theory, so that's what I'm trying to do today. Get some of those things that sit in the back of your mind, just recap on them. So you have I believe, an hour-long 30-question multiple choice answers test at some point within the 3 days, and I believe you have to get 60 or 70% to pass that. So what's that, about 23-ish out of 30? So yeah, and that's all based, it says here, based around the building regulations part P, which obviously we all work to, the wiring regs, so this big book here, which everybody loves to read, on-site guides, so this book here, which pretty much everyone just uses this one because it's got more down-to-earth terminology, explanations, I would call it. More user-friendly for people like me where they hate reading. Yeah, and then you've got Guidance Note 3, which is more of your testing and the correct terminology and stuff like that. Well, inspecting and testing. So that's that. If you are looking at doing your AM2 or carrying out anything to do with college as such as learning, check out GAS, so GSH Electrical, or there's some videos on the eFix channel regarding that. Amazing guys, helped me loads. So cheers Gaz for all the help. He's got all his videos on YouTube, so I'll put them below. But one cool thing on this documentation, it says common errors. So for inspecting and testing, common errors, candidates did not select the correct function or voltage, or they didn't null their leads, so zero in your leads. Check the meter is in date and safe to use. Stupid as that sounds, if you're using their tester, because you're not allowed to use your own tester, if you just pick it up and you don't like check your leads as such, they could have maybe, I don't think they are going to do that, but say if they put like a dodgy lead in and then you just write down your results, or you've made up your results, well, they know you're not doing your checks, do you know what I mean? You're not competent as such. So that's that. Safe isolation, common errors. So straight away we all know you're given a key for safe isolation, or say if there's multiple people working, you have multiple keys and you keep the key on you, because obviously it's your key to make sure that you're working safe. So if the assessor says to you, oh, can I have that key, mate? You're not just going, oh, here you are, because, well, then you can just turn the power back on you and get electric shock. So it sounds silly, these things I'm saying. However, a 3-day test like this, I'm a 20-year-old lad, I've never done anything like this. I've done my GCSEs, done my driving tests. Apart from that, that's it. However, all these things are going to build up. I'm not really stressing about it, because it is what it is. You can't change it. You can redo the test, or if you fail on a certain little section, so say if I fail on the online exam, I only have to go back to Shrewsbury College and redo just that part. So it's not too much. However, it's still a big thing. Obviously, it's a key part in my career as such as going on forward. Let's have a look at some more common errors. Candidate turned off other circuits. You should only isolate the circuit you're working on. Yeah. Making sure you got permission to turn the circuits off. So obviously you typically ask the customer or ask the site manager or something like that, whereas there you're going to be asking the assessor. Let's go on the next page. Let's have a little look. Right then, frequently asked questions. Who can I speak to if I query about my assessment or my booking? Just see centre. Can I rebook an assessment? Yeah, so if you fail, you can just go back and do that section, or if you fail on multiple things, you may be required to redo the whole 3 days if you get that. Receiving your results, so that's another thing. It's not like your driving test where you get to the end and then he's either writing down your certificate for a pass or a fail, or you don't get one for a fail. Yeah, sadly have to wait, I think it's 5 or 6 days for your results. You get them via email, so for 5 or 6 days you are literally sat there going like this. How much is it to cost? I can't speak today. How much is it to do a resit cost? Contacts directly. However, I think if you have to redo the whole thing, it is about £900 to £1,000. And I'll just brush up on this as well. So part of it as well, you are required to fill out the test, like schedule of inspections or your test results and all that. And then you have to show all your workings out. So say, for example, when you're doing your PFC as such between live and neutral, or because it's 3-phase, you'll do it between the 3 lines in a neutral, or lines together. And then you have to double it, and then divide it by 1,000, so it's in KA, and then write that result down. But then I believe you're required to ask for a piece of paper and write down all those results, and then hand that in as well with, say, your results, or where you've written down your PFC and your ZE. So you're required to do that just so you know the theory behind it, I believe. And it's a bit like your GCSEs on your maths. You don't just write the answer. If you write down anything else, all the other workings out, you'll get more marks. But on this, I don't know if you get more marks as such, or you'll probably just show a bit more willing to the assessor marking your work, showing that you fully understand that segment. I've run you through that one because I believe that's the main one. However, I'm not going to run you through the other books, as it's one of those. Everyone's going to be learning different things or want a key focus on certain areas that you're not comfortable with. So once I've done this video, I'm going to just read through a lot of these books and familiarise myself again with certain aspects. However, I will just add, I'll just reach over here and grab it. So there's certain aspects on the training day, obviously the assessors. There's videos out there as such that say this may be on the test, maybe. So you know straight away to be familiarising yourself with certain things. So it's a bit like here. So went to my local college where I learned, got some black PVC conduit, and then I've put a bend, and then a 90-degree bend in. So this may be required for me to carry out tomorrow on the AM2. So it's loads of things like that. If you're not comfortable with, say, plastic conduit, get some. Go to your local wholesaler, go to your local college, ask if you could have some. Borrow a bending spring, warm it up, get some bends in, because it's like everything. It's just practice at the end of the day. Obviously, on the day you've got the added pressures of doing a test and stuff like that. However, just try not to stress about it. I think the college people said to me, focus on one thing. So say if you're doing, because there's multiple circuits for you to wire up. So say if you start with whichever one's first on the list, or whichever one maybe you feel the most comfortable with, just smash that one out and then move on to the next one. Just focus, forget everything you're thinking about in life, just focus on that and get it done. It's like your driving test. You just, in the moment, focus on your driving and get it done.
Right, I've just watched that footage back and I realised I'm preaching it in the way of like giving life advice, which I'm not the person to be doing that, because I'm a 20-year-old where I've not really done loads and I'm just kind of winging it, to be fair. So, but I'm completely honest and I'll tell you guys how it is. So what's left for me to do tonight is just more revision, like I said earlier. But Nick's just rang me saying, do you want to have a cheeky game of Call of Duty? So yeah, why not? I'll have a little break for hour maybe, go on with him, speak to Nick for a bit, see if he's got any advice. So that's another thing. Speak to your college tutors, speak to your boss, speak to people, do you know what I mean? See what they've got to say. They might say, oh, when I've done it, I messed up on this. And then that will help you because you'll remember that little thing. So yeah, just speak to people and watch other videos. Like I say, watch loads of GSH's videos because he's covered every single little aspect of this test. So yeah, but thanks for watching. I'm going to record tomorrow and, well, record in the morning, obviously not in the AM2. And then I might record some at lunch, say I'm getting on halfway. But that ultimately depends on how I'm feeling on the day, because I don't want to put another added pressure on me of trying to video it for you guys. So I'll try my best, but I'm not promising anything. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.